everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back to Adobe Live. My name is Melody and I'm here with Kat Lowe, and it is day 3 for UI UX design. Hello to everyone in the chat. Thank you all for joining us. Hi Ash, hi David, Ibtisam, Wahid. Thank you for being here. Let's take a quick look at our schedule this week. So at 9 we have Kat Lowe hosted by me, and then at 11 we're going to have Ayana Campbell-Smith hosted by Zach Nielsen. And then at 1, we'll have Jermaine Louise Boca, hosted by me. So be sure to stick around for all of those streams. And then today, we're actually doing portfolio reviews. So we won't be reviewing any challenges, but there is still the daily creative challenge going on if you still want to work on that. But we will be looking at your portfolios towards the end of our stream and giving you feedback. So if you are looking for feedback, if you're a beginner or if you have experience but you just want feedback, definitely submit your portfolios. All the information will be under the challenge tab on behance.net/live. And you can submit that, and then we'll review it in about an hour and 30 minutes. And then in 30 minutes, we'll have a chat and win, and you can win a Moo notebook.
Awesome.
Yay. It's a hardcover notebook, and it has flat lay technology. So it lays flat, which is super nice. And you can choose whatever color you would like if you win. So all you have to do is just be active in the chat, and you can have a chance to win. And yeah, and I think Kat has some breaking news that she wants to tell us.
Okay, yeah, you want to switch my screen? Yes, breaking news. We're on day 3. So sad. That is our last day together. You have not tuned in. This might be super weird when you're tuned in today, but I have an alien talking.
That's so cute.
The past 2 days, we've been working on a space tourism app. And if you want to know more about it, please rewatch the videos on Behance Live. So today we're going to be just doing a little recap of what we made in the last 2 days, and then we're going to be talking about feedback and also portfolio.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually recorded this on my
That's so cool. I thought it was just like the picture because I saw a little preview, but then
no, it's actually my face.
So it's your face.
I went
awesome.
like that on iMessage and I sent it to myself.
That's really funny.
Hi Eugene, hi Morel, and
hi,
Ash,
Alex.
everyone that came back from yesterday.
Thank you. I recognize some names: Morel, Abby. Thank you guys for being here.
So, to a little recap about the project, the pitch is that I am a rich, ingenious business magnate, and I've launched here on Adobe Live my space tourism company to the world. We made a mobile app to allow users to book a ticket to one of the 3 greatest destinations, and then yesterday we also added in-flight entertainment. A little bit about me, my background. I've been a designer in New York City for 13 years. I partner with clients to conceptualize, design, and execute their strategy. My background is actually in print packaging design and also responsive web, but in the last 6 years, I primarily work on UI and UX for iOS. And currently, I'm a remote worker for the past 4 years at martiancraft.com. We create a lot of cool graphics and cool UI UX designs for Android and iOS and desktop. So yesterday during the stream, one of our viewers sent me this picture on my Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sorry, I'm blocking the text. Miss Ro. So I think she's in the chat right now. I see her. She sent me these images that she, photoshopped and took photos of, and
she took those photos.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Those are amazing.
I know her entire Instagram blew me away, and I share them. Yeah,
everyone go follow
amazing.
her.
So yeah, would love to see what you make in the space theme. If you've made anything, you can send it to me on my Instagram, Twitter, or wherever you find me online.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we actually talked about this yesterday. This is actually my picture of astronaut ice cream. I think we talked about, what would you eat in space? And some people said astronaut ice cream. They're just kind of like dehydrated bricks.
Yeah, it was weird the first time I tried it. I didn't know what to expect.
They're like really dry.
Air. Yeah.
So to share a little bit more about about myself, this was actually a picture I took in LA at the Griffith Observatory.
Nice.
It's free to go. You can just drive up there. It's a little hike. You can kind of see down to LA, and it's got this beautiful view.
Nice.
And this is around the dusk hour. And this is when it turns out.
Look at all those lights.
Yeah, it's really
awesome.
pretty. So there's an observatory there. They have a little bit of telescope to share. You can see different things.
Nice.
Really cool. So if you're ever in LA, check it out. So day one, just to recap, we've imported designs. We talked about the visual design, how to set the work up. And also we built a quick auto animation into our planets. And we talked about the importing of pixels and points. Yesterday we added some new screens, and it was mostly in the in-flight entertainment section, and we continue to build a style guide. And today we're going to be talking about how to apply sort of the project that I've created, and how do I use it in my portfolio, and how do I look at what I've made and draw similarities or give you inspiration to make your own app. And then obviously we're going to be reviewing the prototype that I made yesterday and get some feedback.
Yay. I'm excited about that.
So to recap also is we actually took this method for our rapid prototyping. We usually go keep the UX strategy really slim for this project. We mainly focused on the UI design, building low fidelity mockup in Photoshop and prototyping that and reiterating and trying to make that prototype more of a higher fidelity, and obviously add animation in to make it pretty cool. So I mean, in terms of the process, it's really up to you to determine what's the right process for the person you're working with. So, you could do the traditional route, or you can do sort of a quick exploration for UI. So to talk more about determining what is the right approach in terms of looking at feedback on your own project, there's three kind of circles that we want to consider. There's desirability, is basically when you've created a design, you want to ask, do they really want this? Step back from the whole project. Second is it viable? Meaning that, the UI and the UX that you created, is it feasible for the business to implement? Or maybe it's in phases. You're not able to do the final idea, but you can kind of do designs to lead up to that. So you kind of need to see the whole picture. And feasibility is, are you able to actually make it work?
Yeah.
So these are all very important things, and what you want to strike the balance is right in the middle, the bullseye. And then it's very difficult because you need to think about everything, and there's different groups of people.
Yeah.
So this is coming from more of a feature idea, but actually it's like this. The business usually tells you sort of what is their business goal and what do they need to do. And then obviously you're the designer, so you're in the middle and understanding what they want. And also there's the development phase. So it's sort of the design is the glue that merges the two people together. Exactly. And sometimes I even say that the two groups of people are pretty much aliens, and they talk different languages, and developers talk one way, being very detailed about implementation, and then the business people probably don't understand a lot about the actual coding, and they want to get it done in a business form, and maybe certain things take longer than others. So it's really a designer's job to really strike the balance between all three. So design's job is not just designing the user interface, the experience, but it's also to sell all people in the room to be on your side, and also tell the story and understand how to really sell your work. So that's very important. So just to look at some of the news now. These are actual news articles published December 2018. It's last month.
Yeah.
So in terms of space travel as a topic, that's actually a real topic because it is happening. Whether or not it's happening this year, like Jeff Bezos is promising, but Virgin Atlantic is already kind of sending people to the moon. Sorry, my thing skipped. Yeah, it's already sending people to the moon. So this is actually a real life topic that you could maybe you could apply for a job at Virgin Atlantic.
Virgin Galactic.
Virgin Galactic.
Yeah.
I keep saying Virgin Atlantic, but you know what? If you do apply a job at Virgin Atlantic, you will still be able to use the designs.
That's
because
true.
you will still have a travel app.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep saying.
It's okay. They sound
like
really
domestic.
similar.
Yeah, I mean it's very possible that it's happening, and it will happen in the next year, 2 years, or 3. So everyone's still kind of creating this UI and trying to discover what is the right UI for this. Specifically, these were the inspirations that I took to design my design. But you can definitely try to mimic some of the designs or take inspiration from these images and try to make some yourself.
Yeah.
So sort of when you look at the project that we've created together, I want to give you some examples from other apps that you can possibly just like mimic and take the process and take the UX form of what we've made and apply it to those. So there are a couple of segments that I think this kind of UI will work well. Number one, having a dark background means making it more exciting and action, and there's media, there's something more of a content focused or photography focused app.
Yeah.
So airline travel, anytime you want to purchase a ticket of any kind, so movies, concerts, sports, experience-based products. So like, I don't know, maybe you want to do a hiking trip or something like that, and you do a hiking app and you do a ticket. Anytime you're trying to sell an experience and not a product, you can try to use this UI. There's also like ride sharing. There's getting from point A to point B. So here's an example of like Airbnb. So Airbnb obviously has like the detailed view of each location. When you tap on that, it has the expanded description on the second screen, and then the full screen view and also messaging. And then Lyft, they put the map in the beginning, giving you a search box for A and B location, and then show you the progress. So this is very similar to what we're making, except that ours is more like, oh, there's planets. Well, if you replace the planets with a map of your city, it would work the same. Another aspect is obviously you can take it really far and say, I want to do maps and navigation. So like Google Maps or any kind of map box using that's sort of something that you can try to do. We can also do games, companion apps to like what Heba made last time.
The Fortnite one.
If you played any game on your phone or anything, you can try to make a UI out of it. And we still have the same format. We have the description, the list, and like what games you want to do. There's also media apps. So I don't know, like example, Netflix or Hulu, anything that, and then the fourth one is actually the rich media content, which is like National Geographic. Well, they give you information about a certain animal or a certain safari or a certain part of the world. So I have some examples of that. Sort of like the A and B, for example, TripAdvisor, like that's like selling an experience. When you're trying to look up a guide for a city, like what should I do? There's descriptions, there's reviews. That's very similar. Also, like the Waze. Have you ever seen like the Waze carpool app where you can like find who's living around you, so you can like carpool together?
Wait, that's a thing? I didn't know that.
So it's just Waze carpool.
Interesting.
And then we have like parking applications where, that's the same concept where you bring up a map and tell you what's available on the map. So example is when we made the space exploration page in app entertainment, where you saw the background of a space and there's markers on there, and as they expand and have an overlay, that's basically saying this, except I'm replacing the background with an actual map. Obviously, the Spotify design is also it's always dark UI. So with that, you can kind of try out and take some hints from how do I properly design in dark UI and what looks great in that. Also, what you mentioned, Hulu, like, should I show the top episode that's showing right now? Should I show a list view of all the stuff coming up? And what are the times they're coming? These are all exactly kind of same layouts that we were having in our design. And then also like HBO Go, this is more like you have big banners across 3 and kind of scrolling down to get more. So another reason why I want to choose this topic versus, you know, doing something that's more realistic is that a lot of the times I think when you're trying to get hired at a company, they're looking for something special about you that tells you about your personality. And I think that when you create some sort of unsolicited redesigns, a lot of people like doing that for practice. But what the company I think would appreciate more is if you came up with a great concept and try to design it towards a concept instead of saying, hey, I'm gonna go remake Facebook, I'm gonna remake something else, because it kind of doesn't really show the design thinking. And that's what
Morel actually asked a good question. What do you think would be a good app to redesign for practice?
Yeah, so for practice, just pick one, but every single app that you choose will have a different kind of form. So for example, a good website to try to work on your typography and information architecture would be like New York Times, because New York Times is focused on delivering news and headlines and the sizing of the text in different layouts and different boxes. So if you want to practice how to lay out a grid and what is a typesetting, a very heavy text-based
There's a
website
lot of content on there.
With a lot of pictures will be it.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something that's very splashy with a lot of images, you know, pick something in a media category.
Yeah, I think some of the examples you showed, like Airbnb, Spotify, Hulu, maybe pick an app that you use that you enjoy the interface, and then I think that would be a good way to learn the skills of like how did they design this, and what size font did they use, what type of font, what colors, and
And I think, you know, the best way to learn is really just to mimic someone else's as a practice. And say, you know, think about, you know, why did they put that font size that way? Why did they come out with that layout a certain way? Because at some point, everyone's layout is going to look very similar, and what people want to see is something different.
Yeah, like what makes you different from everyone else.
Right. So this is what I mean by personal projects with artistic freedom. And think about when you actually make a new UI or a brand new design, it helps you improve your design skills because you're trying something new that you are not doing normally. So I always try to come up with
I think that's awesome.
Yes. So we're gonna get right to the feedback. And my number one feedback from my investors is, why is it so expensive? So I was kind of laughing about the why is it so expensive and what is like the right pricing. Because I don't want to make it so cheap that people actually think that there's something wrong with the shuttle and it will break down because it doesn't have like certain things.
Yeah, I know. If I was gonna go to like the moon, I would not go with the really cheaper option because I would be scared if like 5 other space shuttles are $100,000 more. Why is this one so cheap?
Right. And and the price
Yeah.
point in any company is very difficult to figure out.
Yeah.
Like that's actually one of the greatest things if you're selling a product on the e-commerce. You need to figure out what's the right price point against your competitors. And if something is really cheap, people tend to think there's something wrong with it. But if it's something really expensive, then they might be like, well, what exactly do you get?
Exactly.
Is that worth the price? You really have to get in the bullseye. So when I was thinking about like, how do I make this cheaper without making it sound like it's not safe? I don't know. At first I was like, maybe people just have to stand and they don't get a seat.
Oh my God! Imagine standing and then the shuttle just like.
Well, because I was thinking, like, you know, in a normal experience, when you go to like a concert or go to like a Broadway show or something, you know what they say? They're like, oh, the standing tickets are like $10, and a regular ticket is $100. Well, I don't want to stand for 3 hours, but you could stand. So I'm like, oh, so what?
Money.
Do you want to stand on the spaceship for like
2 weeks?
You get a standing desk, you get a standing bed, maybe like you strap yourself to the wall.
That's funny.
Anyway, so that I was like, well, that's interesting. And then second part was, if I were to book a ticket, you know, what would make the ticket cheaper? Maybe it's just one way.
Maybe.
And it's not a round trip ticket, so the prices are one way.
Maybe.
So meaning it's like, I just want to go to outer space and never come back.
Or they might not have the in-flight entertainment or any like special food options or something.
Right. That sounds really good. That sounds way better. So I was thinking maybe they don't have like the all-inclusive package, which is what this is. When you book it, everything's included. And it's like a cruise. And I was thinking, layovers, you know.
That's really funny.
Well, think about it. Like when you book a plane, you know, you have like one stop or two. It's cheaper, right? So what if you had layovers on this shuttle? And maybe what happens is that ship is actually a cargo ship, and it brings all the food to other planets. So you're like sitting on those. So that's why they're layovers. They take way longer to get there.
That would make it cheaper.
But what if someone is like, you know what? I want like a tour of the whole galaxy. I'm just gonna do layovers on every single one.
Yeah.
You know, there's cruises where
I was gonna
you
say,
go around different islands.
There's ones that are like, they go to like 30 countries or something, and it's like 6 months long or something. Yeah, my mom was looking into it, and she like really wants to do it one day, and I was like, that would be cool, but I can't imagine being on a cruise ship for that long.
Yeah, right. But like people do all the time. Yeah. And I'm like, well, maybe that's what this is. Yeah. It's like you go to one place, stop, and go to another, stop.
Yeah.
And then number 2, what's really funny when I looked at that was there's no way to contact anybody. So that's not really investing any trust in this application. Yeah. So also like the fact that it's very expensive, it makes people not want to purchase right away. It's not like this is like $2 or something. So maybe what happens is we need to have an affordance for abandoned cart. We need to have a concierge. We need to have support. We have to have something like, oh, do you need help right now to finish this purchase? Can I help you? Or like do a live chat or something like that. Because it's not easy to have someone just buy something.
I know, especially for something expensive, and it's probably something they've never done before, so they might feel uneasy going through the purchasing process, and they might need that support to help them. Okay, I'm gonna buy this ticket.
Yeah, because typically if you think about like someone's trying to sell something really expensive, most people want to go to the store and look at it. But what if you can't look at it? It's like an experience. You really rely on kind of reviews.
Yeah, exactly.
But what if there's no reviews? So I think having a sales rep kind of talk to you would be probably and answer your questions will probably be the best thing. Okay, so we're just gonna I'm gonna show you what we made yesterday, and I actually went in and I cleaned up what we created yesterday so that it's not gonna be so jarring, because yesterday we totally like designed over my current design. So this is day 1. We created like a loading screen. We had 3 planets and it animated, so when you tap on that planet, it would get bigger. Each one would get bigger, and then each one, as you tap the corresponding one, it would go to the detail screen. So this is like Cheddar Base, this is Outer Limits, this is Dark Side. And each one of these had a description and title. And what I've done is I added a tab bar on the bottom. So this is actually the destination. I don't actually have every screen designed right now, but I just placed them on just to see. And also I was checking my designs to make sure that they're gonna be in the safe area for the iPhone 10. So what that means is that I have this screen layer right here that says iPhone 10. And with the iPhone 10, you have a notch on the top and also the dragger bar on the bottom. So you have to be very careful when you design, is that everything needs to be at the right size and needs to be in the proper place. So the top bar right here for the toolbar needs to be 88 points. And then the bottom here, make sure that that's not in that spot. Because in the iPhone 10, you're able to, there's no button anymore, home button. So you can like take your finger and like swipe up to exit out the app or change apps. So that's why I don't really like putting the call to action button here on the bottom.
That's a good point.
Yeah, when I see some designs that people post, I see them putting like a overlay right here, and that's not really a good idea because what would happen is you'll just exit the app if you put the overlay on the bottom. So you need to like stay clear of that spot on the bottom. So you can get this is in the kit, the UI kit when you go to.
I like how you have it on there, but then you hide the layer. So then you can just like I don't know what it's called, unhide it or bring it back or turn it off, and you can kind of make sure that you're designing within those limits.
So everyone, go through and check to see if it's falling in the boundary box. So this one is a scrolling version, so it scrolls down. So I want to make sure that none of this. Well, this is scrolling down, so it's okay. But if you have a button or something, don't put it too close to the bottom. And then this is the payment screen, and then this is the ticket screen. So we actually prototyped this yesterday. I'll show the rest. And then yesterday we did this sort of in-flight entertainment. So this is what happens when you've already booked a ticket, you've already got scanned in, and you're on the shuttle. You're on your seat. And what do you see on the screen in front of you? It just so happened it's an iPhone 10. But you should have made like
a huge tablet thing.
Should have made an iPad or do the Amazon Echo size so you can do speech.
Yeah, like voice
instead
command.
of like the screen is this small.
I want to play space basketball.
Exactly. I think that's really cool. So in here I just had your name, welcome aboard, takeoff is in 30 minutes. And this is where you're going, where you've selected. And then we have these three fun aspects. We have the Explore the Stars, the sports, and the roller coaster. So we love the roller coaster.
I definitely want to do that in space.
So the Explore the Stars is really like for people that don't want to move and they just want to do something on their seat. They don't want to do anything crazy or scary. So what they see is they actually see the screen. When they tap on that, they see this. This is supposedly the outside of your screen. And then I'm showing these are the planets that are outside, so you know what's around without actually like having to tap on each one of these markers. And of course, our trusty alien is back with "Hey, you up?"
That's so
so when you tap on that planet, maybe you have an overlay and it tells you maybe, okay, this is like Mercury. So I put the description and then this and "Hey, you up?" So you can tap on that one. Maybe it will open up to a
chat screen.
A chat screen. Intergalactic chat. So I made this one highlighted when you're picking that. So yes, the planet mukbang.
Alex says, "New planet, who dis?"
Yes. Yeah. We should create that screen, new planet. Okay, and then the second one is the sports. So I kind of changed. I made the pictures way larger than yesterday because we were just playing around with the design. And I was thinking that, instead of going to a screen with all of the three sports, might as well just show all the sports at once and show the pictures as large as possible. So, it's Shadow Win time.
Oh, it is. Oh, yay. Okay, so you guys have a chance to win the Smooth Notebook. It's hardcover and it has flat lay technology. And we'll be right back. And we're back. Yay, good luck to everyone.
The Moo book.
Yay. Hi Julia, hi Nick, Heather, Banu, Alex, Jane, Jordan.
Wow.
So many names.
Emojis of the cows.
Oh yeah, how did they get that on there?
I don't
because
know.
you tried to show some emojis of a raccoon during Jermaine's stream and then it just showed up in boxes.
Oh, look at that.
Oh yeah, that's cute.
Move over.
Yeah.
Thank you, Munir. Who's gonna win?
I know who's
The
gonna
mood
win.
book. Oh my god.
So many people.
So many, it's going so fast.
Renee, there will be 2 portfolio reviews today, and that'll be in about an
There's
hour.
icons.
I know. How did the icons get?
Oh, Renee!
Oh,
Congratulations.
Renee! Yay! Congratulations, Renee Spanier. I hope I said that correctly, but you will be winning a Moon notebook, and you get to choose the color. So congratulations. Thank you to everyone who was active in the chat. And yay, let's turn back to Kat's designs.
Okay, so what we're looking at is Space Jam. Idea was taken from the old movie Space Jam, so we're gonna relive that experience, joining Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan with playing basketball in space. So I basically took the font that we've been using and made them really big so that they'll be more interesting to look at. And what I've created was like this swipeable area, so you can just go to the next one.
Yeah.
So when you hit back, you'll be able to go to it. People have figured out how to put the emoji in the chat.
You guys are smart.
And then, so obviously this is the soccer one, and there you can be kicking the ball around with semi-gravity, so that's pretty cool. And then the last one is your boarding, so you're riding a skateboard.
I like how you turned it that way.
Yeah, it was really difficult to like find this and make it work in this long, narrow
it was
version.
Horizontal. Right?
It was horizontal, so I almost want to make it so that it's diagonal, like a 45-degree angle, so at least it will go diagonally without covering the images up. And the last is our favorite, is the it's the
I like that picture.
it's the scary
That looks
roller
really
coaster.
terrifying.
Yes, I wrote a rip-roaring ride.
Yay.
You're basically gonna go 10,000 kilometers an hour. And these are pictures from Space Mountain in Disney World. So
Alexandra is asking, where did you get the amazing picture? So maybe
Adobe
the
stock.
first one. The space ones?
Yeah, Adobe
cool.
stock.
Adobe stock. Nice.
Okay, so I actually went and I linked them together really quickly so we can see what this all looks like as a prototype. So let me just go to this and press play. Ooh, they move. Yep, and then made them tappable, so we tap on every planet and it actually goes to
Nice.
it. So I guess I'll pick, I don't know, the Outer Limits. And I want this, I want to book it. I'll book the Moonshine for, of course, the cool $500,000.
Yeah, the most expensive option.
Yep. And then select my launch date, and here's the date I want, and I'll just pay. And now my flight is booked.
Yay!
Oh, actually, I didn't link a way to like exit out, so I'll go to this one. Yeah. Okay, so now I guess I have to go to the shuttle. This is when I'm actually on board, and I'm seeing this. So I'll do the Explore the Stars version.
Ooh.
It's like, hey, you up? It's like, oh, I only did this one screen, so you can only see the animation on that
I like
one.
the mukbang.
It's
planet.
lit
like,
up.
Yeah, it expands. That's cool.
Yeah, I was thinking like if you can zoom in and out, and you wouldn't have to like zoom in a lot and zoom in out. Just show me all available things I want to see. So hitting back, I can go to the sports one and click on soccer and boarding.
I like the animation of the line underneath the words.
Yeah, all I did was just move the line over. Like, it was really simple because I didn't have to animate anything.
Yeah. Nice. But
Hi,
XD
Frank.
just animates it for you.
Yeah, animates for you, and this is pretty cool. And then the last one is the roller coaster. And I tried to do something cool with that line, the boxes flying in. But it doesn't, it doesn't animate again. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Sign up doesn't go to anywhere because I don't have a screen for that. Okay,
Nice.
so looking at this, obviously, is too expensive. So we need to create a new ride that is cheaper.
Okay.
So here, instead of selecting your spaceship, we need to be very clear that these are all inclusive. So first I'll just make it longer. And then
Anzi is asking if you have any tips for creating the dashboard screen. The screen drives me crazy every time.
in terms of like what is the business in terms of the dashboard screen? Are you saying like a dash when people
Splash
say
screen?
when people
Oh.
say dashboard, what it means to me is a board where they can view all parts of their business in one. So they're like
Okay.
grids. So there will be a grid of bar chart. There's a grid of numbers. There's a pie chart.
Oh.
Is that what
It's
you
a lot.
mean?
Yeah, let us know what you mean, please, and we can answer your question. Also, about 53 minutes left till portfolio reviews. So if you want to submit your Behance portfolio or Adobe My Portfolio for us to review, definitely do that under the challenge tab on behance.net/live, and we will review them at the end. We're going to do 2 reviews, so definitely get those in. Jimmy says you should add an Easter egg to travel to a secret location. If you tap on a hidden button, that would be kind of cool.
It would be funny if you did the voice command and then you just like say a word.
Yeah, what if there's
And
a
then it brings
secret
it
word?
up.
Yeah.
Secret word
Yeah.
would be what?
I don't know. What would the secret word be? Let us know. Aliens.
Soup. It's like, hello, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's secret word. Okay, so I'm just gonna separate out the different ones. And then we have,
Oh, Anzi said yes. That's what they mean about what you talked about, the dashboard.
oh, yeah. I actually do that in my real life job. I make a lot of dashboards. So I guess you were asking what is a tip to make them.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a tip. You kind of, depending on what you make it in, so usually my dashboards that I make are all iPad sizes.
Oh, okay.
And they have to work universal design, so it has to work both iPad and iPhone in every single screen possible. This is why I said before we need to like make everything in a point system at the smallest size. So what I do is you can either design it all on the iPad first and then make sure that the designs are going to scale correctly down to the iPhone because they're very narrow. So I would say like the grid is probably the best example.
Yeah.
Like the grid needs to get smaller, or if you're doing a chart, you know, what areas get locked and which areas are outside
Yeah.
when you're scrolling.
Yeah.
So-
And XD has responsive design now, so it's easy to kind of change sizes and see how they'll fit on each screen. So definitely recommend using XD for that.
Should it be called one-way ticket? It sounds kind of scary.
I know.
You gotta work with marketing people
I know.
to come up with the right text and the right message, because
Yeah.
sometimes one-way ticket
One-way
sounds
ticket.
like you're just never gonna come.
Yeah.
So what should we call this? Like,
A visit
oh,
to...
you know what? You know what? I went on Wikipedia and I typed in like names of the roller coaster.
Oh.
No, names on the roller coaster, and it gave me all these names. These are all the roller
What?
coasters that exist
In the world?
in the U.S.
Oh, in the US? Oh
So
my
some of these are
god.
really hilarious. Like these are real names.
That is
So, you
a
know,
lot.
the Beast, the Big Fury, Blue Tornado, Cliffhanger. They're all like, this is just the first page of the roller coaster list
Oh
up to
my
F.
god. That's a lot.
Wikipedia. I don't know. Let's say something easy. Alpine Blitz. Fine. Blitz. That sounds kind of
Blitz.
good. It sounds like it's fast
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
gonna take a while, even though this is.
Alpine.
Okay, so. So what do you think the price should be for this one-way ticket? Should we just do half of $250?
Yeah.
Or maybe
a little
like
less.
150
A 150?
or 100K.
Maybe 100. Well,
You know,
I don't know. So they would have to come back eventually, or maybe
True.
they're moving there.
Yeah, maybe they're moving. Maybe
Yeah.
they're moving there,
Yeah.
and it's a long haul.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like you don't want to, you don't want to stay
Yeah.
home anymore. So then, yeah, it kind of doesn't make any sense because if you buy 2 one-way tickets, I guess it's cheaper than going. Well, that's
Yeah.
fine. A Tesla is like 90K, the most expensive
Uh-huh.
Tesla. So this is relatively cheap compared to like real world
That's
prices.
true.
You can go
Yeah,
out of space
space.
for 100,
Yeah.
so that seems pretty cheap.
Yeah, when you put it that way.
Like a a super expensive car
Yeah.
is like 300K.
That's true.
So
Yeah,
I
Jimmy
guess
is
this pretty
saying.
cheap.
I'm sorry. Jimmy is saying instead of one-way ticket, extended stay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I like
Let's do that.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Okay. Just change. So the other thing is we need to make sure that these are very clear that they're all inclusive and this one is not.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of ways we can do this. Well, one is I've already had the boxes surrounded on the outside, like each one of these. And it's not going to be very clear that the extended stays on the bottom, which makes it sound like it's like the last choice.
Yeah.
So maybe what I would do is I would actually flip everything the other way. So it's
Oh,
cheaper
okay.
to expensive, not most expensive to
to
cheapest. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's sort of...
I like that idea because if the user sees the most expensive first, they
They'll
might
just, like,
think
leave.
if they scroll, it will just be expensive. But if they see like a reasonable price, they're like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's true. The placement of the pricing and the product really matters.
Yeah.
So I will just move this up. And so then this gives me room to kind of explain that it is not included, like for purchase.
Yeah.
So it's probably easier to call it out by creating a tag for each one of these and not put it in here because it's not going to be, no one really reads a lot of text.
Yeah.
So maybe
That's
this
true.
is like, add your own entertainment. I don't know how I would phrase that, like add,
Add in flight.
optional, like entertainment
yeah.
optional. Something like that. Versus
Add-on?
all inclusive versus all inclusive.
Yeah. That's true. So Ben Brahim was asking if there's any challenges, and there is the XD Daily Creative Challenge going on, but we won't be reviewing them, as Tim said on our stream. We're instead going to be reviewing portfolios. So and then we'll review the portfolios in about 45 minutes. So if you haven't submitted those, definitely get those in so that Kat and I can review them and give you feedback.
Oh, this is not really good comment. Well, like, it's not a really good way of like explaining it, but I'm not sure how to explain it better right now.
I know.
I'll just put it now in here for now, and then we'll
think
fix it later.
things like that take a lot of time and thought to find the
Right
like,
wording.
word.
Yeah, the right wording for like how do you, voice that
Yeah.
that is something
Yeah.
separate, and this is like extended stay with purchase of upgrade.
Yeah.
Or you could like maybe this on the bottom here you would have a description of what is an all-inclusive instead of just saying extended stay. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And maybe
that
they
would
need to
be a
look,
little helpful. Like,
and maybe they need to look completely a little
Yeah.
bit completely different so it's clear.
yeah.
So extended stay is
One-way ticket to outer space. With entertainment.
A la carte style. I need to go on more
Nice.
cruises, so
I've only
I
been on
know
one
how
cruise.
they're
Yeah.
so they can figure out how to like say that in a
Yeah.
nice way.
Jimmy said a la carte, and then Jan said a la cat. So,
You get a cat on
Yeah.
board to go with you.
I would love that.
Get a cat.
Yeah.
You get a cat as an add-on. That's so funny.
A space cat.
I get it. It's the emotional. What is it called? Emotional support animal.
Yeah.
You know, in New York City, there was a lady that brought a peacock.
Are you serious? Wait,
Yes.
on a plane? Or
That's her emotional support
Oh
animal.
my god.
You can
I've
see
never
it.
heard of that.
It's on the news.
That's really funny.
Hey, if
I mean, if
you can
eat
do
it,
that,
Yeah.
it's so funny.
Ariana is saying they call them packages on cruises.
Oh,
We can say
yeah.
like entertainment packages.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. We should do that. All-inclusive packages. That's better. Okay.
Lou is saying they hope the movies on spaceships are better than the ones on airplanes.
You're only allowed to watch sci-fi movies.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
I'm kidding. I mean, if you could have a selection of movies, what would you want to watch for like eight
What
months?
category? Yeah.
If you had like 3 movies that you could watch
over and over.
over and over. This is like one of those desert island
Yeah.
questions. Like if you're stuck with
For 6 months.
professionally
months.
trained your cats will comfort you or beg for food for the duration of the trip.
I would feed the cat the whole time and cuddle with it.
That's so funny.
I don't know what movie I would pick for
What would you
8 months. I don't
What would
know.
you like to watch for a really long time? Any movies that
It's really hard.
that you don't get tired of when you see it over and over?
I really like Titanic, but I only really like the first part, like before
What do you mean
the
first
ship.
part?
Like, do you remember
before
when
the
they
ship
had
goes
2
down?
tapes? Like when they were on VHS tapes.
Oh, VHS.
Yeah. Like
No.
Titanic was like a 2-tape set on VHS. And I had
People in
it.
the chat are like, what are tapes? We're like really old.
If anyone knows what I'm talking about, let me know. But Titanic came in 2, like tape 1 and tape 2.
I've
And
only
I
seen it in theaters. So
Really?
I never owned it. So I don't know where it comes in.
I had the VHS tapes and now I have it on iTunes, but I only really like the first part where they like fall in love.
Oh,
But then when
nothing bad
the
happens.
ship like hits the iceberg and then all the bad stuff happens, I don't really like watching that. Again, I get sad, so but I enjoy the first part.
Oh my god. Yeah, insert DVD
Yeah.
too.
Yay, Ariana says yes, I still have my tapes.
What is a VHS? I know. I always laugh because I'm like, oh, you know what a cassette tape
I
is?
know. Yeah.
No.
I used to have like mixtapes.
Yeah,
For,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
cars,
I
yeah.
had the CD of the Titanic. Like, who didn't have
Oh
the
yeah.
CD?
Great soundtrack. Do you have any movies that you would want to watch for that long?
You know what's funny? Like, every time I turn on the TV, the movie that comes on a lot is The Mummy.
Oh,
And
never seen that.
I've watched it on TV, like it's real TV, not taped or on demand. I've watched it a couple of times and I didn't get bored of it.
Nice.
It's like super old
Yeah.
and the CGI is really funny and maybe I'll pick that.
Oh yeah, Julia's mentioning Disney movies. I would like to watch, like Toy Story is one of my favorite movies.
Oh,
I'd probably like
cool.
to watch that, and I like the whole movie instead of Titanic. Just have it.
Like over and over.
Yeah, just over and over. Oh, Burrell says Mask. Anyone remember that? Is that with?
Oh my god, with Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yeah.
Oh my god. Brendan Fraser.
I forgot about Brendan Fraser. Has he? Oh,
He
Good
just
Burger.
disappeared, you know. He just
Yeah.
like disappeared.
I also love Good Burger. That's one of my favorite movies. Oriana also likes The Mummy. Yay.
It just happened to be on TV all the time.
Nice.
I don't know why. I think it's during Thanksgiving. You know, it's just like Die Hard, you know,
I've
showing
never
during
seen
Christmas.
Die Hard. But I've heard people talk about if it's a Christmas movie or not.
Oh, I know. It's always on during Christmas. So you just
It's
like,
really
it's one of
fun.
those movies you just watch.
Yeah.
Because it's there.
I need to watch it. Jimmy says Disney Channel original movies. Yes, I used to love those. They're not as good. Like the new, I don't even know if they still have new Disney Channel original movies, but okay, Xenon, yeah. Oh, Xenon would be good.
I've never
You've
watched
never seen Xenon? Girl of the 21st Century on Disney? You need to watch it. I'm
gonna write a list of all these movies that I watched.
She lives on a space station in space, and then she
really?
has to go back to Earth, and then she doesn't know what gravity is. But it's a good movie.
Okay, so
You should
then
watch
what
it.
happens?
I don't really remember, but she has a hard time adjusting to Earth, and then there's 3 movies. There's a sequel and then a third one, but yeah. If anyone's seen Xenon,
Yo, I haven't seen that at all.
I think you should watch it. Oh, Victoria's saying The Incredibles / Incredibles 2.
Oh,
I still haven't watched Incredibles, but I need to. I just saw that Incredibles 2 is on Netflix, so I need to go watch that. Lou says they would rather be stuck watching TV shows on a loop than a movie. Friends for the win. I agree, because TV shows, there's
Are
so
lighter.
much, yeah, and movies are only like 2 hours-ish, and like watching that over and over, you'll probably get sick
It's
of
like
it.
really tired of it.
Yeah.
Tired of it. Yeah, I mean, I would think that you would just have to download all these movies.
Yeah, and then just have them. And maybe you can have like unlimited data storage on your tablet or whatever you're
Just
viewing.
bring like
it
a
on.
hard drive.
Yeah.
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 It's interesting to think like for example, like you said, your mom wants to go on a cruise for
Like
a long time.
Yeah, long time.
It's like, what do you bring? Do
Yeah.
you bring all those movies? And
I
stuff?
know. Yeah. What do you
Do you
bring
bring
with
like
you?
books? Would you
Yeah.
like download?
Oh, Grey's Anatomy. I love Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, World War Z? Really? You would bring the zombie movie? Actually, it's so funny that you mentioned World War Z, because World War Z is one of my projects on my Behance profile.
Oh, cool. I
Yeah,
don't think
that's
I've
a funny
seen that
story
movie.
because when a couple years ago I wanted to work on a lot of movie websites. So I found this agency out in LA that creates most of the movies content.
That's
So like
so
when the movie's
cool.
shot, they do all the branding and the website and all the UI work. So all I did was send a cold email. And you know,
What?
I suggest that you guys do that too. Send an email to someone on that company and say, I'm interested with working with you guys. Would love to just do projects if you have any. And I didn't charge a thing. I wanted to do one because
That's
obviously
awesome.
you can't expect to know how to do it well
Yeah.
or have the report. So I'm very open to doing things pro bono, and obviously that was a really cool experience. So they actually gave me
Yeah.
World War Z.
That's so cool.
We had to make a website for social media. So when they dropped the trailer for World War Z, if the number of views or counts would load in a loading bar. So like the more it loaded, the more it meant that people were infected. I don't know. Have you
Oh.
ever watched World War Z?
I don't
Do you know
think
what I'm
I
talking about?
have. No.
It's basically the zombie apocalypse
Okay.
story. You're like someone's infected and everyone is infected. It's that
Oh, I see.
with
So
Brad
the-
Pitt.
Okay.
So basically, like if you watch this trailer, you're infected. So like we would have a map of the world, and then parts of it would get infected, would turn black.
So you created that.
So
for them?
that's the interaction that they wanted. It's
really
like
cool.
I want people to be infected.
Yeah.
Like go make.
That's awesome.
Actually, yeah, go
that's
go
a
make
good
the
idea.
idea. How do you make a UI for people
For,
getting infected?
yeah. Or if you want to, like, if you see a company or something, I think that's such a great idea to cold email them, and then you never know what they'll say. So, and I think that's good to put on your portfolio and as experience. So, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, it's kind of intimidating to email a company and think that, they have projects and you can work on them. It's kind of intimidating, but really you would never know. So why not just send an email and see what happens?
True. Alex says Spaceception. Inception is also a great movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, have you seen it?
Yeah. But I kind of forgot everything about it because I don't remember what happened. And then I remember understanding it when I was watching it.
Yeah.
And now I'm completely like...
They go into like layers of dreams.
Yeah,
to
and
unlock
I can't
a secret.
Recall the content of it.
Really?
It's just...
I've seen it a lot, so I remember. But there's a guy that has a secret, and they have to go in his dreams. But there's like a lot of layers, and then they have to get him to tell them the secret. I forgot what the secret was, but they like needed it or something.
I wish the camera can just like zoom in on my face when like like what?
Yeah. That's funny.
Okay, so I made that ticket. Now what would need to happen is if you pick that one, you need to see the screen with all of the optional stuff. So we need to build that out. So this is the overlay, and okay, it's this, and we need to just move it over. So this is for the Alpine Blitz.
Alberto is saying a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. True. For Inception.
Yeah, it's so confusing. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I remember like it was really cool After Effects. It was like amazing After Effects.
Yeah, there was a part where they're in Paris and then the like city kind of turned on its side. It looked so cool. Yeah, the effects are really good.
So I'm gonna just grab these that I made as the example for what are these in-flight entertainment things. No, they're add-ons, entertainment add-ons. What did I say? Add special experiences for your extended stay trip. Okay, come back to
Stay, I don't know. Don't get bored on your trip. Stay entertained with our special add-ons.
Yeah. Well, these are like super crazy entertainment. So they're like more exciting entertainment as I'm like, here.
Oh, my friend Ari's watching. Hi, Ari. Yay.
Should I make it $400? $200? $400? How much do you think this should be?
I think since the flight is 100,000, so if the flight was like $10, this would be like $3.
$3?
I mean, like if you think about like removing the zeros.
I'm just joking.
So I think 300 is pretty good.
Let me just take a poll. How much
reasonable.
How much do you think these things should cost. How much do you think the Explore the Stars, the Sports,
And the
roller coaster costs?
How much would you
pay?
willing to pay for that if you are on a one-way? Is this the one-way only?
This is the one-way where you can add these experiences. It's like when you go to Disney World, you can say, oh, I want to add a dining package. I want to add a transportation. I want to add a hotel. I want to add... Okay, so for the Explore the Stars,
$2.99.99.
Exactly $2.99.99. It's like $2.99.98.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have a sci-fi thriller about a hotel check-in desk within a hotel check-in desk.
That's funny.
Oh, it's called Reception.
Ooh, I like that
That's
idea. Alexandra says it should cost way more. Alex says $2.99 looks better than $300. True. 15K?
No.
That's too much.
15K? Well, then again, it's like you've already spent 100K.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure people like do some math on this. It's like if I took a one-way trip and I added all this stuff, how much would that be versus like going on like a luxury one with an all-inclusive? I mean, is that what people do when they try to balance out the all-inclusive?
Yeah.
Because I don't really go to all-inclusive things. I've
only been twice.
Pick my own.
And it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went once to the Bahamas with my family, and it was an all-inclusive hotel, and it was really fun. And you could get like ice cream.
Yeah, food.
And so food.
Yeah,
that was like the best part for me was the food. So Alex is saying it's a psychological thing to put the 2 instead of the 3. And I think that's true. Like for the number instead of 300 to put 2.
Oh yeah. Because it sounds cheaper.
Yeah.
Wait, so sorry, how much is it? I don't know.
Is $2.99 a reasonable price for exploring the stars?
Okay, we'll just make it up. So I think this needs to be cheaper than the other two because
the other two
these
are more
intensive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think? It should be like $1.99, $2.99,
$2.99.
Okay,
that could work.
Sure.
Ben Brahim is asking if we're going to have mouse over and mouse out an XD prototype. Can you explain kind of what you mean by that? I don't know.
Oh, are you asking
that
are they going to put that feature into XD? Or
so.
Are you asking about should I do it? So you can do it now, but it will just be one tap state. So example is like what I've done here, which I did an overlay. So you can make one, which is, I think he's saying on and off state. So this is, so this is
like
the
overlay.
So this is the off screen.
Okay.
So when I tap on it, there's an on screen. But the issue is that he's asking, can I just roll my mouse over and it will roll it automatically? Versus like, because just right now it will click that and then I have to click it again.
Yeah.
So that would be a cool hover effect.
Yeah, that would
for XD. Yeah, upload that request on xd.uservoice.com.
Yes. Hi, Anne. Thanks for joining us. And Tony. Oh, Tim is saying hover is not yet available.
Well, the box is really, really big. Should have just kept what I made before.
There's about 25 minutes left to get your portfolios submitted for us to review them. And you can do that on the challenge tab on Behance.
Okay, I'll just do it with this for now and then replicate. So that one is this. I don't think it needs to be that big. And I think I would like to add a check mark because this isn't a row where you can. I don't want this to go somewhere else. I just want it to be like when you tap on it, it would just zoom and put that in the cart instead of like it going somewhere else. It's not
so you're just gonna click on that.
Maybe I should have a description of what it is, but
Yeah.
because there's no description.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe you can have, like when you tap on it, or oh yeah, you can just have it
Like
underneath.
write something
Yeah,
about.
that's good.
Explore the stop cosmos through your seat. Oh, right from your seat.
And without having to get up.
And without having to get up at all.
Yeah.
Having to get up at all. Okay. And then I want to do a check mark. I wonder if I have one that I made before. Yep. Okay. So I want to make a circle instead of a check, but I want to make sure.
So once they tap on the circle, it'll like, or maybe on the screen.
Yeah.
Or that section. And then
Right.
like turn it to check.
So this is 2, so I want to make sure it's the same 2. And so when yeah, right. I need to make 2 states. So this state is unchecked, and I need a state that's checked. So unchecked would be that, and then this is, I'll probably just do a fill, and then make that the knockout.
Oh yeah. Métis is asking if he doesn't have a UI UX project on his Behance, if it's possible, or if it's still possible to review your portfolio. I think if you have, I think you need at least one project. It's just something for us to review. But if you have anything, even if you're a beginner, definitely still submit it. And I think it's really valuable to get feedback, especially as a beginner. So you don't need to have a bunch of projects or anything. I think one is fine. So. Jan is asking if there's Wi-Fi up in space.
There should be.
I
if
feel
we're
like
paying
there-
like
yeah,
500K.
100% will be.
What's the
the
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi?
password? It's reception.
Yeah, reception.
Wow, so funny. Okay, just gonna keep that layer, turn it off. Symbol is. Okay, I'll fix it later. It's really a little too big. Okay.
Robert says Spy-Fi for the password. Or for the name of Wi-Fi, maybe.
So I've made these in masks, and I need to click the rectangle and undo the lock so I can stretch it. Or I can use a repeat grid.
Oh yeah.
It's probably a better idea. Oh. So yeah, this is kind of funny image because it kind of doesn't work that well when the image is like in a certain positioning. So
Yeah.
to like turn it over. So copy these. Actually, I can't see, so small.
Tim says this looks like a job for repeat grid.
I know. I should just do a repeat grid.
Yeah. It's okay.
Should I do a repeat grid and fix it?
Does it need to be fixed anymore? Sometimes when you're like already doing it, and then you're thinking, oh, I should have just done a repeat grid. And it's already too late because you've already done it.
That's exactly what happens. I have to have like the repeat grid in my head, and then I will just do it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm not like I'm thinking about something else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we love you anyway. So you think the sports should be double the price, $2.99, and then the roller coaster, or maybe the roller coaster is cheaper, it's $2.99, and
Maybe
then the
it should
sports is more
be-
expensive because the roller coaster is just like you're just sitting in a roller coaster.
I guess. But what if the roller coaster is too cheap?
Huh?
What if the roller coaster is like too cheap? Maybe you'll not trust it.
$3.99 for a roller coaster?
Well,
ride?
if you're paying $100,000.
How much do you think the roller coaster should be? We should just take a poll and say.
Yeah,
like,
how much would you want the roller coaster to be? One that extends out in space, like how we talked about yesterday. In Las Vegas, there's roller coasters that kind of hang off this hotel. So
like a claw.
Yeah, so this one will kind of be like that, like Space Mountain.
10,000 kilometers an hour.
Ooh.
Like you're outside.
Heather says $10.99 or $80 for 10 rides. That's a
Actually,
good
it's
idea.
funny because
like, for
that's
more
those
rides.
little tickets.
Yeah,
that
maybe
go
you
to
can
the
get
carnival.
tickets since you're going to be there for 2 weeks. Or is this one?
If
2
there's
weeks
a
long?
freaking roller coaster, it should be cost enough to make it feel like you're about to die. Exactly.
I agree. Yeah.
And what do you think that is? $5.99? $10,000?
10,000. Oh, Gemma also
Legit.
says 10,000.
$10,000. That's it. $10,000.
Alberto says, would you fall slow because of gravity? I don't.
Oh,
5K.
no. This is like super cool. We can control the gravity
Yeah.
number.
It's so advanced
We can
that.
have as much
Yeah.
gravity as you want. We can make it like Earth gravity. We
Yeah.
can make it zero gravity.
Oh, Ty is saying add a fast pass, like at Disneyland. Yeah. How many people do you think would be on a space shuttle on one time?
I'm not sure. Do you need a fast pass? Because,
I know.
Yeah, I'm
There
like,
might
how
not
many
be that
people
many
are
people.
trying to go
Yeah.
to this?
I have to wait in line for 40 minutes to ride this roller coaster. I mean,
I hope you don't have to because
Yeah.
you know the fast pass they kind of like ping you when it's ready.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this will ping me when
Yeah.
it's ready. Like, hey, your ride of your life is available
Literally.
now. It's ready for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the roller coaster costs $10,000, I'm gonna assume the sports is gonna cost more than that because you actually have to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
And Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny will be there.
and the
There.
sports, there's 3 of them. There's
Ooh.
soccer,
Oh, yeah.
basketball,
And the snow.
I'm gonna
the
assume
space boarding.
I'm gonna assume they're all the same price.
Yeah.
So
Do you think would they do all 3 or they would just select one for that price?
oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe there's an
We should
option to like
say
bundle all 3 for a little cheaper, but still kind of expensive.
$99,999.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think it makes sense to split it up right now and not just say it's sports. Maybe it's literally like this is soccer,
Yeah.
and then. So, do you think that they should be different priced? Because now if it's separate.
I don't know. I would maybe put them at the same price.
Okay.
What do you think in the chat? Would you like to pay the same price for different sports like soccer space boarding or basketball? Or do you think they should be separate?
You want a Mars Tadini. Oh yeah, I know. My other idea was like these entertainment things that you can have is like spa.
Oh,
You can have like what is it called? Those athletes where they go to this
don't know.
machine. Oh, like athletes, they go to this little like cryo ice.
oh,
You know what I'm
like
talking about? I don't know the name
frozen?
of it. No, it's like super cool because their muscles ache after like playing sports.
Oh.
They go to this little chamber thing and then it closes up and it freezes their body
It's
for
really
like a little
scary.
bit. I'm telling you, it's a real thing.
Maybe
now.
we can include that in space.
And I was like, what would you do? Like hot
Yeah.
stone massage with like the rocks?
Moon rocks or something.
Moon rocks.
Lindsay says you could do a day pass for all the sports. That's a good idea. Oh, cryotherapy.
There you go. Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
guys.
No, I knew it was that, and I was thinking maybe I would say it incorrectly, and it's something completely
Yeah.
something different.
That's interesting.
Cryogenic chamber.
Ooh,
Is that what Madonna uses to like keep young? It's
maybe.
like freeze your
yeah,
face.
freeze your face.
Okay, just gonna replace these images. This is- Oh, cryotherapy. We'll see how this image works out.
It's good that it's like such high resolution, so you're able to kind of make it smaller or turn it around, and it's still
Yeah,
It's
I
gonna
love
look
how
really
you
good.
can just flip it.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Hey.
My text gone missing. Oh, it's underneath. So just rolling it up.
Ben Brahim is asking a good question. He says the pictures are in round edges, but the buttons are not. Is that okay in design to have a difference?
Oh yeah, that's a good catch. I did that on purpose. The reason why when I first started, I made everything really sharp edged, because when I was creating kind of like the look and feel, I made kind of like these designs, which were squares. And then later on, I was thinking, having the images, when you have a lot of these large kind of intensive images, they're already a square, so it kind of doesn't have any funness to it. I mean, so then I started turning the edges when they're not full screen, when they're like smaller, meaning like if it was a shape inside a background, I just decided to do them as curved. In my ticket one, I have that same kind of concept, where if it wasn't full screen or a picture or it was part of a screen, I would try to make it rounded. It's really up to you how much you want to round them. I just did a little bit of rounding, like at 12 points. Like if you do 6, it would look more and more like a straight edged rectangle. Kind of just gives a little. In terms of like the payments and the buttons, I kind of want them to be all consistent. So like if I had, pay here, and select price, they would be kind of quote more important.
Yeah.
So
It makes them stand out. And
make them stand out.
Rajan is asking what our favorite plugins are for XD. Do you have any favorite plugins?
Actually, I don't use too many of them. I have UI faces, I have icon generator, I have like swap fill. there's some that I actually used before. It's like how you can like copy the text and put them over, or angle is pretty cool. Yeah. But I never really figured out how to get angle to work well. I think
same with me. I tried it, but I don't know if you need like a subscription to angle. I'm not sure, but I also like UI faces, and then on Jermaine's stream yesterday, she actually showed me a content generator plugin, which was really nice if you are thinking about names to add, or cities, or I think prices. They have all these options, and you can just select the fields on your screen and then go to the content generator, and it'll just input all that. So I think those are like probably really good ones.
Like
there's
the
a lot
repeater is pretty cool.
Yeah. And they're always adding new plugins.
There's just a lot here to play around it and try them out.
There's also one actually I just discovered yesterday on Twitter. Let me see what it's called. Keyboard shortcuts. So I was talking with Jermaine about
that.
So it's just called so keyboard shortcuts, basically it just shows you all of the keyboard shortcuts from XD, because it's really hard to remember all of them for me. So if we can switch to my screen for like 1 second, maybe I can show, sorry. I can just show really quickly this plugin. So this one, so basically if you're looking for maybe repeat grid, you can type in whatever shortcut you're looking for, and then it'll show you Command R, or if you want anything. So basically it's just like a library of all of these. So it's a really awesome plugin. And then I think, so definitely check that out. You can go to plugins, discover, and this one is by Kenny Krosky. So it's a new plugin, so definitely check that out.
Cool.
And you can switch back to Kat now.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. I mean, there's so many plugins, and I just can't keep up.
Yeah. I want to try all of them, but then my list of plugins will just be really long.
Yeah, you have to try them one at a time and see what you get.
So there's about 6 minutes left to get your portfolio submitted, and then Kat and I will review them in a bit. Oh yeah, Rajan's saying Unsplash image plugin is awesome. That's true. I forgot about that one.
I love Unsplash. Yeah. They have really cool pictures on there, and you can use them, and you can submit them too.
Yeah. Yeah, the plugin makes it a lot easier to add pictures from Unsplash. Oh, Ben Brahim saying the change case plugin is useful. Yeah, so if you want something to be all caps and you already typed it out,
I need that
that's
right
a good
now.
one.
Yeah, I mean, I need that right now. I mean, maybe that's something that Adobe XD could have in the program, because that's actually missing the text to change it uppercase, lower.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Don't have to like retype everything.
Yeah.
So I'm finished with the screen. I'm just gonna duplicate a version where we're gonna show that it's been purchased. Actually, I just realized something. I colored the buttons in the wrong color. Because they're supposed to be kind of black, because I did blue as the on state to make them stand out. But this is actually the opposite color. It should be black. And everything should be opposite.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of like you set your own rules about things, and it's just my rule of like, oh, when I design this, how do I keep everything looking consistent? And you know, like keep that kind of rule going. So change them back.
Jed is saying repeat grid makes changes easier, and that is true.
So I'll tell you why. So if you make the repeat grid and you drop all the images in, when you want to manipulate a certain image inside it, as I'm trying to change the image and flipping them, it wouldn't work. Because basically, I don't know if it will work.
Yeah.
So basically what you have to do is like unlink
the repeat grid.
the repeat grid. So then you would no
Then you can
longer have
edit.
a repeat grid,
Yeah.
and what you will have is what I have right now.
Yeah, I wish you could go back to a repeat grid after you've made your adjustments, because I'll make a repeat grid and then ungroup it and then change the little things that I want to change. And then I wish I could make it back into a repeat grid so I can like adjust the spacing or something. So I think that would be a cool thing to add.
Yeah, I think that's a good feedback for XD.
Yeah, on the user voice.
When in the repeat grid.
Yeah.
I should be able to manipulate the mask as I like it, and that would be really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the whole point of a repeat grid is not to break out, like not to completely like unlink the grid.
True.
But it sets up your project faster for you if you know this is kind of like the look and feel you want. Okay.
So Rita's asking how to see her prototype in Adobe XD with her device, and she has a Mac. So I think there is a.
Oh yeah, so
option
we
to
can
do
look at that. We can look at that now if you want to. If we can get the GoPro. So basically, you need to download the XD app on the iPhone, and then you would need to. You can do it two ways. You can sync the file onto the cloud, or what I usually do is I just plug it in, but I don't have a plug right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't
That's
have.
okay.
I don't have the little.
On the phone?
Yeah, sure.
It's okay.
If you want.
Well, so it won't show because we don't have the plug, right?
Well, do you have
Yeah.
do you have
Do you have the
phone
plug for?
Maybe we can just get one.
Into this. Oh, we go on this. Can you reach out?
Yeah.
Try to do that.
Do you want to try it? Would this work?
Oh no, I just need this to this, like a
We need
regular.
from the laptop to the phone.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think it's okay if we don't have.
just like a regular lightning.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's too much, that's
Yeah.
fine.
We have to-
Sorry, stand by for that. But there is a way to view it on your device.
This is fun.
But you would have to put it on the cloud first, which I don't. I don't have it on the cloud, right?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know this how you do.
So-
oh, you need. Okay.
I need just a regular lightning cable.
Yeah.
Because because in order to see it, you have to sync it first.
Yeah.
Or I usually just do this and I just plug it
Yeah.
in. The USB.
But if you click on the phone icon in the upper right hand corner right there, that's how you can.
Yeah, it's so
kind of view it.
it shows you the link for
Yeah.
where to download that.
So,
So you can, yeah. So you see, connect the iOS device with a USB to preview it in real time.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot too. You can see it in real
Yeah.
time, but it's just a regular cord. Okay, let me just do an example for.
I mean, yeah, I just see the phone. But you need to connect it to the clouds.
Oh no, we can
Yeah.
use the GoPro. Just I just need one from here.
Yeah.
You want to use the GoPro?
yes. Or should we use the GoPro?
Sure.
Because I see the screen if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just need the line, the
Yeah.
USB line. That's yeah.
So that works then. I'm gonna plug this guy.
It will work.
Yeah, I see the phone from.
Oh,
Plug it
okay.
in. Yeah, yeah.
Magic is happening.
Yes.
Yeah, Alexandra's saying it's so different to try it on your phone than try it on PC. And I think that's definitely true. Because once you have it in your hand and you're able to kind of go through all the motions, you can really see how it would flow in the user's hands as well.
Okay, so I need to exit out because.
So it's actually time to review portfolios.
Oh, okay.
Yay! So we are actually going to take a trip to outer space, but we'll be back in a few light years, but it'll be a few seconds.
Okay.
You're on the
Melody,
dark
I'm
side.
your father.
Yay. Ooh. We are
Actually,
back.
my bun is so high. This is what it must feel like.
Yeah,
in outer
to land
space.
on after we get off the shuttle. So we are doing portfolio reviews right now. Thank you to everyone who submitted your portfolios. If yours didn't get chosen, you still have 2 other opportunities today to submit your portfolios for the next streams, and you can have them reviewed during that time. So the first one we have is Rajiv Raju, who is a UI and UX designer from Bangladesh. That is awesome. Give you a follow. So let's take a look at his projects.
Mhm.
So have a
I'm
good
liking that
amount.
you've updated your cover photo.
Yeah,
'Cause
I still haven't done
Behance
that.
has a new layout.
Yeah.
And it's looking great. It has like the ability to like upload your
Yeah.
banner.
Do you have one on there?
Mine's really bad because I would just realize the UI change and I said, "Oh, that's awesome," and I haven't picked
Yeah.
out a nice picture yet.
I know I need to create something to add to mine, but yeah, I like what you have. It's really nice. Are there any projects that
That
you want
catches
to?
my eye?
Yeah. That you want to
Well,
look?
I like the number of projects on your screen. It's limited and it looks like it's curated.
Yeah.
Obviously, the ones with the flags really stand out to me. The second, the third.
Yeah.
So up to you. You can pick
Let's do the purple one.
one. So it's Ride X.
Ooh. Experience the best ride app. I like how you have kind of the intro image in the front that kind of shows some screens. It's a little hard for me to read project details. So I would recommend maybe making that a tiny bit darker just to add contrast. I think we can't really see it on
Oh,
this.
actually, I didn't even see it.
Oh, you can see it better on my
I
laptop.
see. I was
Yeah.
like, what's the project details? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
very, very light.
it is, but so maybe closer to this color would be a little bit better, or maybe darker. But it's nice.
Yeah,
that you
usually
don't-
with fonts and titles, I usually don't go beyond 50% opacity. If you're gonna do
Yeah.
like sort of design and it's not text,
Yeah.
feel free to do whatever you want. But like the text needs to be pretty readable.
Yeah.
So I guess there's text there too,
Yeah, it
but
says
I can't see.
about Ride X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's good that you have the logo and then a quick little blurb about what the app is about. And it's not too much text, so it's good for people that
So what is the project about? Ride sharing app?
Ride sharing app. You will find riders easily. They are so experienced, so they can help you reach your place in the right time and save time and money. So I like how you displayed the color palettes. A nice gradient.
I'm gonna guess this is like a motorcycle or a bicycle because of the logo, because it's
Oh, yeah.
it's handlebars.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure. Since I
Yeah,
haven't
let's
seen
see. So the font,
It's Google
XO2.
font. Okay.
Nice. Easily sign up. This ride sharing app is very easy. Enter your mobile number. That's awesome.
Search for your place. Okay.
Yeah, I like how you have this laid up and then connecting like the where you're going to, or where you're from to where you're going, the destination, point A to point B. It's really nice. And request a rider. So is this like kind of like Uber or Lyft, and you're kind of looking for people to give rides to? Nice. Yeah, I like how the map takes up the whole screen, and yeah, looks good. Scroll down. History.
So
of the-
I think one thing is probably this is like a English or language issue is when you say this is just English. So like request a rider. I think what you actually mean is request a car instead of request a rider. So it's just a small update I would make is replace all your words rider with like a ride. So like request a ride, meaning like so request a rider, what it at first it sounds like is you're
Like-
the person providing the service
Yeah,
versus
that's what I was
you're the
thinking.
customer requesting someone to pick you up.
Yeah.
So I would just Yeah, if I think that's what this is. This is not
Yeah,
like you're
a
you're
driver's
a driver.
requesting. Okay, that's what I was thinking, but yeah, it's important to pay attention to those like
To
tiny
text,
words,
yeah.
and it's really difficult, especially if like English isn't your first language. Like so many words are so confusing, and like my parents always ask me like, "What is this word?" And like,
right.
because it's really hard to know the difference. So it's like it's not a problem, but it would help the project, I think, kind of understand a little bit better, because writer and ride is
Like
it
two
makes a
distinct
difference.
things.
Yeah.
Two
So
distinct things. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I
But
would
the
change
design looks cool.
Yeah.
History of the ride, yes.
it. Yes. Looks good. I like the blur drop shadow that you have going on. Looks good. Ooh, and I like how you have this in like a real life mock-up. Looks good. Pay and rate. Nice. Can
Like the screen. I'm assuming that's the receipt that you get
Yeah.
after the ride is over.
$170. I wonder where you went.
Went from like New York all the way to Maryland.
Yeah.
like
Maybe.
a 2-hour ride.
Yeah. Profile. Ooh,
Yeah, looking
nice.
good.
Yeah, looks good. And then other screens. Nice. Cool. I would like to see maybe some higher resolution images of the other screens, like this image looks really cool.
Oh, the illustrations.
Yeah, the illustrations. Yeah, so maybe, because it's a little hard to see all the details in this screen, so, I mean, it's a really good screen, but I maybe would add a few more, like, detailed pictures. I don't know.
And maybe I would add a little bit about the thinking process and what you're trying to do. It's there. Maybe some more.
Yeah.
Example is what are you trying to tackle, and
Yeah,
what are
the
some of
challenges?
the other designs that you've made to come to conclusion that you've gotten to this point.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe the process, I think.
The
Like
process.
you tried some UI that looks like this or that,
Yeah.
and then this
Maybe
is what
like
you got.
different versions, or
Because what I see now is
sketches.
like the final design and final everything.
Yeah.
So it would be cool to see a little bit.
Yeah, I would like
more.
to see the beginning and maybe what inspired this project. So, yeah, but definitely a really good job. It's really nicely laid out on Behance. So awesome job. Maybe we can look at one more from Rajib. Is there another one that you would want to look at that kind of stands out?
Sure. What about the one next to it, the turquoise one? Since
It
it
has
seems to have the most flags.
Yeah. Okay. gift card app.
Well, right off the bat, the contrast. So it's like really hard for me to read the top area in white. Like basically can't read it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with the opacity and like the coloring. So it's probably better to use a dark color. So like the dark blue you're using for the X for the text,
I think.
or like have it knocked out because white text on bright backgrounds.
I can read it on my laptop, but looking at our screen here, it's pretty difficult to read. And yeah, I agree. Maybe making a stronger contrast between the text and the background.
And one way to check really quickly without like running an app is when you're designing it in maybe it's Photoshop, you take a screenshot of it, you go to Photoshop and you do Command I to invert it. And when you invert it, everything is black and white. And if it's black and white and it's the same, it would just look like it's part of, it wouldn't have high contrast. So that's how you can
That's a
tell if
cool
it's high contrast, if it's white
Yeah.
or black. Yeah,
Nice.
so
Yeah,
you can do that or
it's a good
to check.
little tip to check. So this is a gift card app, and they can choose their needed cards in various occasions. So they can buy things from their home or send a gift card to their friends, colleagues, and other people.
Color palette is
one.
aqua.
Yeah. Nice.
Google font, sans serif. So with the font here, I would like to see in detail. Maybe you say, okay, the heading, the product title, etc. is in bold. What is in semi-bold and what's in regular.
Yeah.
And also with like how do you choose the font is usually I start with the paragraph font. If the paragraph font is regular, then the title I would do 2x the weight. So it would be like semi-bold.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't use bold and semi-bold together because there's almost zero difference between the two. So
Yeah.
just one step up and down. So like just kind of write out like what were your choices for different parts of your design.
Yeah, I
If
would
you
like to know that
paragraph
too.
is this, title
Yeah.
is this one is the buttons are these.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
definitely agree. Screen and details, sign up. So screen has a nice layout, and I like the little gifts in the background. It's a nice little detail. Nice. Explore.
Users can explore gift cards. Okay, and other occasion cards. I see. To gift the
Ooh.
gift cards.
So maybe like a greeting card with like a gift attached to it. That's cool. And then search. They can search for their gift card. Oh, they can search by photo or Google Voice command. That's nice.
So if I were to make a suggestion with this one, since you're designing in iOS, you can't actually do the Google Voice command. You would have to do the Siri command. So when you tap the microphone, what would happen is the UI for the keyboard will turn and become the wavelength for dictation.
Siri, yeah.
So what you're doing now is mixing Android design with iOS. So it's probably better to stay within that framework that you decided. So I would just suggest that you do that. Or maybe they are able to do the Google Voice button only because if it's the Google Voice app that they can do that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But natively, it becomes like the wavelength.
Yeah.
So I would just make that the wavelength.
Yeah.
And maybe you can even, when it does the wavelength, the top section grays out.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
it dictates, it like the words appear
Yeah, that'd be
marquee.
cool.
So maybe that's a
Yeah.
suggestion for the screen
Yeah,
when you do the dictation.
that's a good catch. Purchase history. Nice. Order. Payment. Nice. Yeah, the screens, I really like them. They're very like simple and to the point. And there's not a lot going on, which is good. Especially for like a straightforward app like this one. Profile. Nice. Cool. And you can add your card.
A gift.
Where is it? I can't find. Is it this one?
Yeah,
this-
it's over there.
Nice. Yeah, I like how you displayed it on here so you can get a good sense of what it would look like on there. Nice. Ooh, yeah. So I like how you laid it out like this so you can see the detail better. I think maybe this would be helpful to add in the previous project as well. Nice.
If you don't, wait, let me see.
If you didn't get a code.
Yeah, so the fonts, the font sizing is really, really small. So that's why the laying out the sizes is important. So human interface guidelines, we're saying that if you're using a default font, the font on the screen needs to be 16 points at least, or 17 for the body copy, so that when you're looking on the screen, it's not really, really small. It needs to be like glanceable at a distance. So I would change all the body to 16 or 17 and then make the title like 23.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Yeah. Definitely want to make sure it's readable for the users. Nice.
Cool.
That's
that's
cute.
cool.
Yeah, I like those.
That's really
Yay.
cool.
Nice. Awesome job. Thank you, Rajib, for submitting your portfolio. It looks great. And yeah, so let's move on to the next one, which is Renee, who is from Austria. Renee Spanier. Yay.
Another
I
great
think-
banner.
Yeah. That looks awesome. I really need
my
to
banner
change
is like
mine.
nothing. Like
Yeah.
black. They all look cool.
Yeah, your
I love the
projects look really
infographic.
good. Yeah, me too.
Why don't we just do the first two?
First
or
two, yeah.
We can do.
Mobile app redesign.
Blockchain social media.
Ooh, nice. I like
Steve
this
Shy
font that
social
you use.
platform allows you to share your lifestyle visual experience by posting images to a global decentralized database called Steam.
Nice.
I really like the font sizing. It's really easy for me to read
Yeah,
at
me
this
too.
point, this far away.
Yeah. And I like the font you chose. It looks really good. I don't know what it is, but maybe we'll find out as we scroll down. But yeah, I like the curve also. Let's scroll down. Approach. So you perform usability tests and then user research. Nice. Login. Before missing captions. Sign in button. So is this an actual app or that you redesigned? Or
Oh, what it looks like is, it looks like you're trying to improve an app. I'm not sure if that's
Yeah.
what it is. Sorry, let me read. What does it say? Will you scroll up a little bit?
oh, sorry.
Approach as a main. So right here, when the black text is on the red background, it's really, really hard to read.
Yeah.
So what I would do is either put a background box around the text,
Yeah.
or simply make the text very, very big,
Yeah.
or make the weight of the text very thick. Because
Yeah, on the
it's like
screen
unreadable.
it's a little bit hard to read. Yeah. So if
So
you're,
what it sounds like is the main method is he used usability tests where he found UX issues that he can fix.
okay.
So that's what it sounds like. So the before, so then he's calling out
So he's
before.
calling out the-
There's missing captions and back arrows. Sign-in buttons seem to be active but cannot be clicked on, and they probably need help
Yeah.
with the key.
Nice.
I see.
After
So he
solution.
proposed. So that's before
Those
he
are the
proposed.
problems that he found. Nice. And then the solutions. Sign in, added caption.
So instead of the word captions, you should use title or in a nav bar. So that's the language that they use in the HIG. So maybe change that word from caption to title.
Yeah.
And then make sure the title is also at 17, which it looks like it is. Made the buttons inactive, highlight switched. Button only stays active when the switch is on. Okay.
And a help finding key. Nice. Home. Before. So the border is not visible when scrolling. Not much content. And unclear of which icon is selected. Yeah, I can see how that would be unclear.
So in that one, I would change the word captions to tab bar label. And that would be a lot more clear. That's exactly what you're talking about. I like that change because a lot of people only use icons and not the text, and it's never clear when you use icons, especially if the icon isn't blatantly obvious.
Yeah,
Like if it's
one you're
house
used to
or
seeing,
home,
yeah.
if it's not
Like a person.
something like that,
Yeah.
it's confusing.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have what it is written underneath.
So I think this is basically like a study on what the UI improvements
Yeah.
I've made in this
Yeah.
current app and after, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I like how you were showing like before and after all in one screen. So sometimes it can be hard if the before would take up my screen, then I have to scroll down and then scroll back to see the difference. But I like how you kind of split the screen so it's easy to kind of look on the before screen and the after screen. So
I would suggest something in terms of it. So right, what you were saying, it's kind of difficult to compare, mainly because it's stylized and they're like this.
yeah.
So if it's possible to put them side by
Yeah,
side,
that would be
and then
best.
instead of the text going sideways, I would put it in the middle. So like two screens, and then the differences are in the center, so that the line is going
Yeah.
at the same spot.
Yeah, that
So
would be
it's
good.
easier to kind of like go, oh yeah, that one's different. That
Yeah,
one's
yeah.
different.
Yeah, I think that's
So that
a
would
good
probably
idea.
mean that you would need to cut down on your explanation of text, like what it is. So like border between the top bar,
Yeah.
added grade top bar. So it could just be simple, like change the border
Yeah.
and then draw the box around the area that
Yeah.
you've done.
Well, that's a good suggestion. So let's go to explore Before, search bar barely visible. Nice. After.
I'm liking these updates because
Yeah.
they're very standard native HIG changes that you've made. So for example, the top one with the search bar not very visible, I guess somebody was trying to do Android material design, and the bottom is more what's more standard on iOS. And these are the small details that really make your app feel like this is an iOS app and not a just a random app, but feels native to the phone that you're using. And the reason why we want to do stay close to the HIG is so that people would know what to do without much training.
Exactly.
I like the changes to the nav. I think hot new top
Yeah.
made it clear which tab is selected.
Yeah, and then this is highlighted, so this is the Explorer, and then Profile.
Oh, it's like Instagram
Yeah.
with a
I like the
Bitmoji.
follow, yeah. That looks good.
I've added a cover image, tightened up the space.
Ooh.
I would suggest if you do add the cover image to have some type of masking in place on the image itself so that, like I was saying before, the black text, when it's overlaid on an image, it's sometimes if the image is black, you're not gonna read it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna, that won't happen, and you can't control what the user will upload. So it's probably better to have some affordance that you create like a mask where it's colored to opaque and have that on coded in so that everyone would be able to.
Because not every picture you would upload on there would be
Like a white.
Yeah.
White, because you can't tell what people would upload.
Yeah, exactly. So settings. Nice. Before, after. Yeah, I like how you kind of broke it up and made those lines, because you can't really see the lines on there.
So great update again. The top one doesn't follow any form for the HIG. The bottom definitely does. The top sectionized, that is a requirement for when you do setting pages. And another reason why someone would like to make it close to the HIG is that it comes in the kit. So for a developer to develop this would be a lot easier than to create all the rows separate.
Yeah.
And that's just gonna eat up way too much time to do something that
True.
is the same screen. So
I made a dark
great.
one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
They work between
Nice.
5 and 2, and they want a dark mode. Cool.
Nice. I like how you also included a dark mode option. Not a lot of projects have both modes, so it's nice that you showed that. Yeah. I think you did a good job with like how you talked about this yesterday about how to do dark UI.
Yeah, so like looking at this, a suggestion would be to fill the icons with stroke, like the house, the globe, and the camera.
Yeah.
And I think the little boxes too. I think it's like harder to see now.
The menu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and this, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just
Nice. Yay.
That's cool.
So,
Great.
awesome
Great
job.
work.
Thank you, Renee, for submitting. So we are about out of time, so sorry we can't look at another project, but I hope that we gave you some useful feedback. Thank you to Kat for being here
Thank
this
you
week. I had
for
so much
tuning
fun
in.
with you. Yeah. Thank you to everyone for tuning in and everyone in the chat for joining us, being active participants and helping us with your app design. And yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. So where can they all find you on Behance or Instagram?
Sure.
anyone-
On Behance, my username is Miss Cat Low. My Twitter is just Cat Low because someone
Yeah.
said Miss Cat Low.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's that on everything. And my Instagram is Miss Cat Low too.
Yeah, everyone. So stay tuned. Ayana and Zach will be live in about 5 minutes. So thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.